I want to play in Europe. What the hell does that mean, right? Because Europe could be Latvia, Luxembourg.
No one's talking about Latvia or Luxembourg, dumbass.
But you don't want to just shove it in there. Start with the smaller finger, especially if this is the first time. Start with the smaller finger and go slow.
I mean, there's a lot of things that need to change.
Honey, eating it is the best thing that you can do for your man.
I want people to realize I'm just human. I'm just human, and I make mistakes.
So this guy, Derek, wants to know, is putting your tongue in an ass really the thing to do?
Yeah, it feels really good.
Yeah, just, it's a weird one, I think.
And I know you want me to toss your salad too, don't you? All right, on that note.
What are you saying, bro? You are.
Stop, bro! Stop, bro, help me, I'm stuck!
Welcome to the Straight Red Card. Yes, Serginho Dest is back. In that he's back in our promo, but he's also back on the field. Now, of course, unfortunately for him, they were up 2-0 when he came in. They quickly were then only up 2-1, and they want him to not go forward. So he didn't go forward much. So they wanted to preserve that 2-1 lead. It is what it is, right?
In the with the intro where, the stepbrother I'm stuck part comes up, instead of having the old cowboy doing this.
Yeah.
It should have been Admiral Akbar going, "It's a trap."
Something like that. Fumar's saying Pete's is better. Pete's intro's better? There is no fucking way.
All right.
There's no way.
There's
absolutely no way.
We're going to put this to the test. We're putting this to the test.
There's absolutely nothing funny about his intro.
We're being called out here.
Yeah. Fumar's got to be joking. He's got to be joking.
Yanks.
It's the random Eagles. The random Eagles. Wah! Wah! They come in. Yeah, I guess so. While you're doing that or whatever you're doing there.
2 seconds here. Boom.
Okay.
All right. Let's see.
Don't get me wrong. We love Pete. I'm just not so sure about.
Come on. Our intros are our thing.
We got a humorous intro.
Oh my God, my mouse. For the love of God, just die already.
It's time to talk about the U.S. men's national team Nations League roster, which will be released next week by Mauricio Pochettino. I'm going to point out live three-man roster as I see it, as I think it should be. And then I'm also going to discuss what I think Pochettino will do as we prepare for crucial games in the semifinal against Panama and potentially a final matchup against either Canada or Mexico. What up, guys? I'm Pete Douthit, host of...
No, it's not. That one doesn't have an intro.
Okay.
All right. I'll find it. Go ahead. You said before, or while you're looking for that.
Yeah, well, keep your brain working. Did you see in that game, it's a cup game against Oxford? Can't remember who played the cup game versus Oxford. Anyhow, Oxford's goalkeeper, his name is Jamie Cumming. No S on the end, just Cumming. Jamie Cumming. No S. I've never seen a guy. Last name was just Cumming. I have always met people named Cummings, which, doesn't make me think of Cumming. Whereas if your name is Jamie Cumming, kind of makes me look at you and go, ooh, really? It's TMI, man. TMI. Also, did you know that Seattle's
good Lord. I got to go back 1 month to find a freaking intro.
Really?
I mean, it's only like 4 videos.
Okay. Yeah, he's been busy.
I love the eagle.
Eagle. All right. I like it. It's inspiring, but it's not funny. I mean, it's funny on its own.
The Eagles are great.
Yeah. Eagle.
I love like the wooden one at first. It's like,
yeah. By the way, Jamie Cumming inside the goal. Here's Calvin, even better. Jamie Cumming inside the box.
Yeah.
He's in the box. Jamie Cumming is in the box. He's coming in the box. Oh, what a save. All right. Anyhow, also, did you know that the Seattle name of the Seattle stadium is Lubin Field? That made me think. I don't know about you, but it made me think a little bit.
Wait, you mean the Sounders Field?
Yeah. Made me think. Thought of Vaseline. Damn, why isn't this showing up? Lubin Field. It's like, wait. I don't know when it changed to Lubin Field.
Lumen.
Oh, it's Lumen?
Lumen.
Why did I keep hearing Lubin all night?
I don't know, man. If it was Lumen, I feel like we would have heard about this.
I think you're right. By the way, on that fucking Michelob commercial with Messi, where he gets to the beach and they run out of fucking Michelob Ultra, what the fuck does he even say to the bartender when she's like, you want another beer? And he says, and they can't understand a word he mumbles. Couldn't they get him to talk louder?
I'm fucking Messi. Here you
go. All right. Yes. It's now officially Lubin Field.
Lubin Field here in San Francisco.
Is there?
No, but I mean, Umar's clearly joking.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know.
Oh my God, what's happening with my mouse?
I don't know, but I don't know. I have no idea. I couldn't help you with that. All right. Anyhow, that's all I could think of coming onto the show today. Was why do I keep hearing Lubin instead of Lumen? Anyhow, no. So clearly our intros are better than Pete's, and they're even better than Tax. So, what can I say? I can't help but think USSF releases these rosters on purpose the day after our show. They couldn't have posted it today. What the fuck? Well, Brett, kind of reminds me of them finally announcing the Turkey game a month after we announced it on this show.
Right. Well, you know who can announce their roster on a Monday like a normal federation? It's Mexico. Mexico announced it. We're just scroll down this list, see if we notice anybody's name or lack of anybody's name.
Okay. All right.
There's some names here.
Okay. All right.
I know that one right there. Yeah, that's nice.
Okay. Who are we missing so far? I don't know.
Well, I mean, once we realize there's only one name we recognize from the
I recognize several.
No. You're missing the point. The point is all the Americans who make the switch over.
Oh, they're not on it.
We always look for their names. There's only one.
Efren Alvarez, Twinkie Boy made the squad. The guy that looks like a Twinkie made the squad. He's shaped like one. He kind of moves like one. Congratulations, Efren Alvarez. How much does he even play for Tijuana?
I read on Twitter that he's actually doing really well there. I think it was Herc that said that.
Okay, good for him. I just follow up to see if Joe Corona's playing. That's it. And he hasn't been playing that much for Tijuana, so I just check on him randomly. Now, as far as Raul Jimenez and Santi Jimenez, I think okay, I'm a Fulham fan. Okay, I got bias. No way I'm starting Santi the way he's playing for AC Milan right now. I'm all in for Raul Jimenez if I am a Mexico fan.
Every time I watch Mexico, he doesn't start Santi. So is it anything new?
Yeah, he won't be starting again, I don't think.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing. He's done fireworks have not shot out of his ass since he got there. In fact, he's looked really poor for 2 games for AC Milan. Now, to be fair, a lot of people looked really poor, but Pulisic didn't. So we'll get to that.
Yeah.
He looked really good. But anyhow, no dual Nats here on the roster, except for Twinkie Man.
Yeah.
I guess I can call him Twinkie Man now, because when he was with Galaxy, he was really young. I used to call him Twinkie Boy. But now he's a man. He's a grown Twinkie. So he's a Twinkie Man. I don't know if he still has that diet. I wonder if he's thinned out.
Well, I don't know. I haven't really seen him since he made the switch and everything. At that point, it's always like when the players make the switch, all of a sudden I just like tune them out. Like, I don't care.
Yeah, I'm not going to waste my time watching Tijuana for Efren Alvarez. Why would I bother doing that? So, Linez is the Freddie Adu of Mexico. I wouldn't go that far. Freddie Dew was an absolute complete bust. Not that Linus is not but his bust is smaller. He's got smaller moves than Freddie Dew. All right, what else we got, Brett?
Let's talk a little music talk. Nice song coming out of the 2000s.
Okay.
That was all the craze. All the kids dug it.
2000.
It was Stacy's mom. You know, she's got it going on.
Sight.
I don't think it's even all right. I think it's a pretty crap song, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
But it kind of leads us into this next topic here.
Oh yeah.
POV, you're about to lose your virginity to your best friend's mom on a family ski trip.
I mean, we're getting a little late in the year for a ski trip, but this does smell like a legit photo of something that's about to go down.
It's something. I mean, you don't know. That could just be a friend of hers taking the photo. Could be her husband taking the photo. You never know.
I can't even remember that song, by the way. It
is not Bloodhound Gang. Don't even associate that song with them.
I just don't remember liking it.
It's not a great song at all.
So if you scroll down,
you're sitting there wondering, like, I mean, it's your virginity. I understand, you know, kind of a non-made up face and everything like that. She's been out, a little windburnt, especially on the nose. But you know, she's got huge tracts of land.
Mm-hmm.
That makes I understand. I get it now.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I just saw the photo and thought, yeah, this is a legit photo. That probably is something that really happened.
I think there's something at the bottom. The glass she's giving the friend. I think there's something at the bottom. There's something at the bottom.
Isn't she just toasting?
No, she's like, "Here, drink this."
Well, don't give him too much because then you can't get it up. He'll be all flippity floppity. All right.
What's next here? Oh. So you know how you spent time and investment, weeks of research, finding out which VPN you need to purchase in order to get to do your research on the weekdays and weekends.
You mean 30 minutes? Because that's about how long.
I mean, that's still time. That's still time. That's still time and research. You got to whip out your credit card and purchase it.
Yeah, absolutely. I got to do my research, so that's a necessary thing.
Yeah.
By the way, to the 69 of you here right now, giggity. All right. Yeah. There's a stepsister glory on there. This chick might have a point. There's a stepsister glory on there. This chick might have a point.
I'm not sure what the glory on their part is, but this chick might have a point. And Meg, who's from Canada,
Nutmeggy,
says, "I have just learned that the hub is a Canadian owned and operated, and I think shutting it down in the U.S. would be a very quick way to end this trade war."
Nah, no.
There
are plenty other places to do research.
Well, that's kind of like what I said. I said first off, I said 2 points, as if there aren't a number of free sites out there. And then 2, I wonder if there's some kind of a way you could trick the servers in thinking that you're actually contacting the site from some other location than your own.
I'll give her credit for this, even though she's being silly and stupid. Is at least she's not an Indiana House of Representatives, state representative, who made it a law to be that you can't do research in Indiana anymore.
Oh, I thought you just had to provide your license.
You do.
Okay, you can still research in, right?
No, I'm not giving any site my fucking driver's license.
I'm not saying you should, but you said it made it a law that you can't.
Well,
you can, technically.
You can, but VPN is really the only safe way of doing it. Because what's on the internet is forever. You give your driver's license away to a porn site? Really? Is that what you're going to do? Thank you, Indiana. And by the way, isn't it always been that side of the aisle and I think this is both sides of the aisle in this case, where it's the parents' job to monitor what their children are watching on TV and on their phones?
Yeah.
And to set up safety programs on their phones and their laptops and computers so they don't have access to that. No, we're going to micromanage you. And when you get on, you're going to have to prove that you're 18 with a driver's license. Yeah. Okay. What a great idea. That's absolutely one, unenforceable, and two, honestly, you just can get around it so easy with a VPN.
I think the biggest question about this whole topic here, anyways, is would the hub actually want to block United States traffic? I mean, I feel like that's gotta be like at least like a third of your visiting population.
It's probably the majority of it.
The hub would quickly find out that they'd. I don't even know how they. Well, I guess they have advertisers and stuff like that. But so, yeah, I mean that would hurt their bottom line too.
Oh, absolutely. They would never cut it off. But they certainly have cut off Indiana because some of those sites will just say, when you click on them, they automatically come up and say, this site is no longer available in the state of Indiana because of your law. They don't even ask for your driver's license. They just said, you know what? Fuck you and your state. I don't care if you have a driver's license or not. We're just banning the whole state. So there you go.
A lot of some people are posting some options available for you to do some free research without using a license. But
it doesn't matter. I got a VPN now.
Yep.
So it's all over. By the way, tonight I'm drinking Taxman's Qualified Bourbon Barrel Vault Series. It is a barrel-aged Belgian style quad ale. And where is the alcohol content? Here it is. 10 even. And I will let you know if it's distinctly. It's part of their Vault series, which they tend to made some good stuff, except for that coffee one. Remember how bad that was? The coffee one. Oh, awful, atrocious.
Yeah, I'm not a big coffee beer guy. It's one of those things where like I'll order it. If I order it, I'll drink it, but I certainly just won't go out of my way of ordering one.
Well, it's a quad. You would think there would be coffee notes, not that it would taste like a fucking ground coffee.
But I mean, Derek, if coffee can, mask up the odor of drugs, I imagine it's going to mask up the odor of anything else you're going to drink it with.
Well, that's why it should be notes of coffee.
I don't want any amount of note of coffee is going to be distinguishable.
It should be. It's a quad. It's already rich, dark, and delicious. If you want to add a little coffee like nudge to it, fine, but don't make it taste like coffee. It tasted disgusting. I will never buy that again. But this, on the other hand, we got to get Taxman as one of our sponsors. I feel like we've drank a lot of their beers on this show.
Yeah.
All right, I'll call the owner.
I'd be down for start hitting them up.
I do know the owner, by the way.
Oh, snap!
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Get that. We'll have a third camera just for some Taxman sign.
Yeah, when they first came out and they made their their double, and I drank it, and I called them, and I said, I can't believe you guys are doing this. It was the fucking owner answered the phone, and we had this long discussion about Belgian beers, and I said, what you really need to do next time around, the next go, is these need to be drier. That's what makes a great Belgian beer, is the zip of the dry. And he's like, okay, I'll do that. And he's like, you sound like you know what your shit, even though he had traveled to Belgium, which is where he fell in love with the beer. So anyhow, long story short, they all have zip now, which is nice. All very dry.
Okay. Well, Club World Cup is right around the corner. And they're making the trips, stopping off at the Oval Office to show off their flashy new Club World Cup. It's not a cup either.
It's not. It's like a plate on some sort of like platform.
I was going to play this, but we've been getting dinged on these things. So
yeah, can't play it.
We'll just zip through. He's got a special key.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's going to make this...
key goes in the butthole of the plate.
Well, one would imagine it takes him like 40 years just to twist it. Oh, it's moving, guys.
Yep. So right in the butthole makes it move. I don't know. I mean, I like this trophy. It
looks nice.
Yeah.
There's a nice little close up there.
I like when they get really thoughtful about putting something very new together that's never really been done. So,
yeah,
I like the trophy.
No, I don't think you necessarily need to have a key to open it up and twist it around and stuff like that. It should just be like this.
I kind of like you got to insert a key into its butthole to make it.
Then you
look
lose
good.
the key, and then you got to go out and get a new one.
No, they better not lose the key.
I mean, you know how much fobs are for your car? Those are expensive. I can only imagine what a gold key would cost.
Just keep the key in the butthole of the trophy.
It's always possible.
And you just leave it there. Leave it in.
Kind of like some kind of a plug, you mean?
Yeah, like a kind of butt plug. A permanent butt plug.
Yeah.
All right.
Not a bad little cup.
Yes. It's not bad. I like it. They put some thought into that, which is more than I can say for Infantino, many of Infantino's ideas. So I'm sure he didn't design it. I'm sure he had no part in designing it, which is why it's great. Because he's an Infantino. He's a baby mind. He's got a little baby mind.
A little baby head.
Little big bald head with a little baby mind. Little infant mind. All right. For the 87 of you here now, make sure you like, subscribe, share. Which grandma? Slow Monday night. What the hell's going on? Is there a game on? I don't know. Usually we're like bucking over 150 at this point. Anyhow, it doesn't matter. We'll get on.
It'll come. We're only 22 minutes in. Usually we're still doing a bunch of weird fluff and stuff like that. I think a lot of people are like biding their time.
Yeah, they're waiting. It's nice weather, as Johnny says too. It's nice weather out there. Hey, but we love the fact that the core of you are here. We see you. We know all the guys in the chat. It's fabulous. All right. What else we got?
So Derek, recently through a few articles that came out, you were vindicated for your Sargent $25 million plus kind of leak, if you will.
Right.
You were called many a name.
I was.
I think Bumbling Buffoon was one of them.
Yes, absolutely.
And it came out, and you were vindicated. Vindicated, I tell you.
Yes, I was.
Well, apparently you're vindicated on another leak. You are 2-for-2.
Yeah, I trust certain leakers. I don't necessarily trust all of them, but there are about 5 guys I trust, and they send me stuff.
Trust all the bedwetters. I get.
Yep. So I got this one almost a month ago about the Turkey game. And thank you, Football Final Frontier, for saying, wow, it's almost like trusting below the basement journalists pays off. Boomer Richie announced this on Straight Red Card a while ago. These guys and many other content creators know what they are talking about and have good sources. It's true. We do. And I've had bad sources before, and I don't use them. When I don't trust them, I don't use them. And I just want to say thank you. You sources know who you are if you're watching the show. Thank you. We do appreciate it. It's kind of cool to know you and go back and forth and discuss things with you too. So we also, we called the indie owner thing too, by the way.
Yeah. So, it's almost like we know what we're talking about.
It's almost like I was a journalist once. Who knew?
Crazy talk, Derek. Crazy talk. So it looks like we're playing Turkey June 7th in Connecticut. And the Swiss are coming.
What happened to Turkey?
Well, we're in America, Derek. It's always going to be Turkey.
Well, I was told it was Turkey so many times. I thought it was just an official switch.
Yeah, but just like the Gulf of America, we don't have to believe it.
That's so meaningless. It doesn't matter. Call it whatever the fuck you want. I don't care. Really don't care what they call the Gulf of Mexico. We'll call it the Gulf of Flocks. The Gulf of Hammerhead Sharks. I'll live with either way. All right. Anyhow, I thought it was Turkey. My bad.
Yeah, well, that's fair. Again, it's U.S. Soccer posting it, so America's got America.
I guess so. I just was trying to live up to whatever the new standard was, and I guess the standard isn't been written in stone. So there you go. I know better.
I would normally say something like, "Can't teach the old dog new tricks," but clearly the old dog has learned a new trick. Everybody else is following behind him.
Yeah, now that I've learned it, now we're going back to Turkey.
Yep.
All right. Okay, fine. I'll go back to Turkey.
I think even the people of Turkey were like, "What is this? This is crazy."
That was Turkey.
Derek, I know.
Okay.
I'm always adding another E to it.
All right. Turkey. Like the Fonz. Turkey. The Fonz.
Yeah. I got corrected on Liga MX multiple times throughout Twitter and the chat on that one the stream. I kept saying Liga MX.
That's close enough.
So I said I've learned my lesson, and it was. Do you hear me even stutter a bit there? I almost said it again, but
I think it's close enough, Brett. Liga MX is fine, absolutely fine.
Then we got the Swiss, June 10th.
Hey, these are good matches. These are good matches against two quality teams. So we're finally going to get, a kind of a test of that European flavor. And I think it's good.
Yep. And then I guess Mexico's going to play in the inverse of this. They're going to play Switzerland on the 7th and Turkey on the 10th.
Right. I mean, they already announced it, and they'd already announced most of this actually even before the roster today. So we've known about them. So why did we wait so long?
I was going to say that. I don't know why we sort of just drag our feet and wait till the longest fucking moment to say something.
I mean, it's not like this is some massive announcement today. Like, who jizzed in their pants today that wouldn't have jizzed in their pants 2 weeks ago or would not have? It doesn't make a difference. Just get it out there. If you know it's confirmed.
I mean,
get it out there.
Did anybody really play today?
No one played today. There was nothing in soccer happening. Like, there were teams that played, but none of the ones that we care about.
Yeah. I mean, I don't see, just quickly scrolling through here, but I'm going to Germany. Nope. The roster could have been announced today. I don't understand it.
It could have been announced today.
It could have been our topic instead of us scrambling for a topic because we thought the roster would be out today.
And these two matches could have been announced 2 weeks ago, easily. Yeah. 2 weeks after I already announced it, they could have just announced it. I kept waiting what the fuck? What's going on here? How do I know about this a month before they're going to release it? And they just are dragging their feet. What the hell is going on? Maybe they didn't have they were still deciding the venue or something. I don't know.
That could have been, I guess. That could be maybe.
I got a back itch. Oh, I got to use this hammer to get it.
Back scratcher.
It's a hammer. Oh yeah. That's good. Oh,
which side of the hammer are you using? I was gonna say
the pointy end. Always got to have a hammer nearby, just in case you have an itch.
Yeah.
Or self-defense, either one of the two. All right, what else we got?
Let's scratch that other itch here.
Do not panic. Do not panic. Cap them now. Cap them now. All right.
I didn't know where that was going.
Yeah, absolutely befuddled. All right. Let me see here. Cap him now, please. Cap him, says Tony. Are you going to cap him now? Yes.
Yeah.
16-year-old Julian Hall starts for New York Red Bulls against Atlanta. Very curious to watch how he does. So what's his other country?
Poland.
Oh, yeah. No worries. No worries. Nobody wants to go play for Poland. Yeah. No worries.
Even Gaga turned them down.
Yeah. I mean,
no. Ben's there.
Yeah, but he had no other choice. He wasn't good enough for us. And that could clearly be the case for Hall, too. So I wouldn't worry about it. Let's just keep an eye on Hall.
Has Ben even good? Was Ben good enough for the Poland national team?
No.
Yeah.
Nope. Ben was not good enough for the Poland national team. I don't even know if he still plays for that one team that I used to always bring up. I stopped caring once he made the one-time switch to Poland.
Yeah.
So no big deal. Listen, we'll keep an eye on Hall. Not making any judgments about him as a player yet. He's too young, and it's just not worth getting too excited about. Anyway, don't break out the lube. And all right.
Okay. We're going to hit up Yanks Abroad early. I mean, it's only 30 minutes in, but man, this show's going to just cruise right by.
Okay. All right. So on Friday, it'll slow down right here. Sargent went 90. Got a goal for the tie. Could have had another one, actually. Could have had two, I think. But again,
the way you worded that was weird because Sargent scored first for the win, but then Norwich decided to leak a goal in.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, Norwich is not going to be in the promotion discussion, I don't think. I think I was right about that. I don't think that's going to happen. They've blown too many games they were supposed to win, and I think that one was against Oxford and Mr. Cumming. And that's a game you'd have to win.
Cumming is my father's name.
So if you can't score more than one goal against Jamie Cumming and Oxford, you got a problem. Because they're near the bottom of the table. They're one of the worst teams in the championship.
Well, yes, that basically defines Norwich's season so far, even without Sargent and with Sargent, is that the team they leak in too many stupid goals and drop too many points.
Yeah.
Not necessarily even lose, just dropping points. They're like Juventus in that sense. They're just dropping points.
And I do think that Boris Sainz was a little greedy on a couple occasions when he had an open man to pass to. But what else is new, right? I do like Sainz, but I do think he was a little greedy. Anyhow, that's going to continue. But I don't think Norwich is any realistic race to get into even the playoff promotion spots. Scally, go ahead.
We're on Sargent here. Let's talk about the slide. So apparently there's 6 clubs keeping.
Yeah.
Sargent.
I mean, this is from EFL Anal. Why, sis? So take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah. Does EFL Anally Sis? Do they specify that their EPL sites keep an eye on them, or are these just 6? Are these 6 Division 1 teams? Period.
Well, he was hoping to get 69, but he could only get 6.
Oh.
So I don't know what's up with EFL Anal. Why, sis? But trust them as far as you can throw them. I don't know. 6 seems a little big and a lot. I think it's more like 3, but I wouldn't know. It's not like I have any connections with the Sargent folks, right? Don't have any connections with them at all. I mean, no friends in that community.
I imagine there are more than 6 teams just watching him. Now, whether or not there's going to be realistic options, that's a different story.
Right. I'd say a lot of clubs are watching him, probably the bottom 12, if not all the ones that have hope to be in the top 8 have kept an eye on, because it's not like we got a lot of center forwards this season just cooking it, right? So if you can find a solid guy and you got a team that's great with providing service, this guy obviously is able to put away shit if he's got service. So there, end of story there. So yeah, everybody's watching. If you're talking about watching, I always feel like somebody's watching me. It's a little out of my range, but
don't worry, your mic broke out right at that moment.
Did it? Good.
Yeah.
Derek, how do Sarge's nuts taste? Absolutely saltily delicious. They're great. So yeah, a lot of people watching. Watching's not important. I'll let you know when there's a real offer. And I can tell you that I have sources. So when something's really going down with Josh Sargent, come here first. We'll know before anybody else. I'm just telling you, we will. It was kind of like back in the day when we knew where Hoppy was up to, right? Yeah. And by the way, Hoppy at Sonderjiski, oh boy, didn't dress. It's a bad sign. Didn't see him on the injury list, but maybe he is injured. I don't know. But I hope that's not another, vacuum of doom where he just spirals into nothingness. All right. Well, hope not, because I love that kid. All right. Zaire Leslam lost. He got injured. And when he got injured, St. Truden played better without him, and he lost the starting spot. So he was in the 18 for St. Truden, didn't play. Keith Perry down one level in Holland. Went 65 for Excelsior in a loss. They currently sit 5th out of 20 teams, so they're still in that fight. Is Keith Perry to get up to the next division. And over down in that division was John Hilton, who went 90, and Lawson Sunderland, who went 30 for Dordrecht in a loss. They have even a better chance of going up than Keith Perry's Excelsior. They are currently sitting in 3rd. And at one point, they had 3 Americans starting on their team. One of them got injured. So there's that. Osandina was on that team as well. I haven't seen him. I think he's injured or he's been called up to the big boy team. I thought they were the big boy team. I don't know. He's just not been playing. I can't find any injury information on Osandina. All right. Jalen Hawkins, you might remember, was in the Bayern Munich. Not Bayern. God damn it. Anyhow, he was in Germany at one point at one of the youth academies. He's now at Emmen in the Division 2 as well in Holland. He went 72 in a loss. They're also fighting for promotion to the big boy league in Holland. They are currently sitting 4th. So a lot of Americans in that 3, 4, 5 spots fighting for promotion into the Dutch first tier next season. So if you care about that, something to keep an eye on. Could have a few more Americans in the Dutch league next year. I mean, Americans nobody knows about or cares about, but that's beside the point. On Saturday, Jedi had a meh game, and so did most of Fulham as they lost. I don't know what's going on with Jedi. He's going through like a late season slump. You know, I don't know any other way. It's not bad. It's not like he's a total fuck up, but like the assists are drying up. His passing's not been great. His first touch seems a little off, kind of like he's distracted, maybe like his girlfriend's pregnant kind of thing. I'm just throwing out theories. He just doesn't seem there. And he lost the captaincy, man. He wore the captain's armband for how many games in a row? 4?
That's your baby. I don't know.
Yeah. And he wasn't wearing it. Or maybe I just couldn't see it.
Maybe he's got one. Maybe he's already got one foot out the door.
Well, that's the other thing to consider, that, you know, because they gave him a whole game off, which he fully deserves because he plays 90 minutes all the time.
Yeah.
And, you know, they're playing maybe what they think will be his replacement out there, which makes sense because I think the writing's on the wall. I think Jedi's gone this next window.
Mm-hmm.
Richards, 90 minutes in a win, another clean sheet. Turner didn't play, of course. And then Haji Wright, the last 24, and his comeback after injury for Coventry. They did win the game, but not because of him. Dwayne Holmes is injured. Ethan Horvath went 90, this time in a loss. Well, it's the second loss in a row. I wouldn't blame those goals on him, either of them, just like I didn't earlier in the week when he played the cup game, where he had an astounding game. And then the goalkeeper currently is injured, so he might get some playing time.
Good.
We'll see what happens there. Aiden Morris, 90 minutes in another loss for Middlesbrough. That's been a roller coaster since he's gotten back. Win, loss, tie, win, loss, tie. It's like, you know, no real consistency there. Oh boy, and the moment of the weekend.
We talking about this one? This guy?
I said I'll never get up for another Dortmund game at 8:30, 9:30 in the morning again.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
I got kids, so I was up before the sun rose.
Well, if he's currently relying more on Gio and actively working on his development, he didn't give him a single fucking minute, even though they were down a goal in the second half still.
Yeah.
And didn't put him in. And this is the guy that used to come up with those kind of goals.
Well, I think the top part is lip service.
Yes.
And I think the bottom paragraph here is the key factor.
Yeah.
I think I made the comment last week about maybe Gio's just sort of coasting to stay healthy till summer, but maybe Dortmund's doing the same thing, quite frankly.
Yeah. Well, all I can say is it's not impressive. Dortmund sucks. I hate watching Dortmund. They're just awful.
They are a team without an identity at this point. Not saying that Gio would give them an identity. There's a lot more missing than either who's going to play, Brandt or Gio.
There's
a lot more missing there. Yeah,
they're a soulless team. And Brandt, by the way, he's not even that good. He's played like shit this season. Yep. I'm sorry. Watching them is difficult to do. Their defense often makes clueless mistakes. Daniel says Gio's done. He's done probably. I don't even know if he's done playing for Dortmund. I think they're still going to play him here and there. But
well, I mean, they're still in Champions League. They're still they're not vying for anything really in the Bundesliga. I think their chances of possibly making Champions League next year are shot to shit.
Oh yeah, they're shot to shit.
But I mean, Gio's going to continue. I think Gio's going to continue to get an occasional start here or some minutes here because even though they don't want him to get injured, they still want him to go out there and make a case for that $10 to $15 million range.
Yeah, and right now it's right around probably 10 to 12, to be honest with you.
I think more like 8 to 10.
Really?
Personally, that's what I would think he'd probably pull.
I think that's crazy that he would drop that far, but yeah, it's possible. What was his top value at one point?
40. I think it was just 40, maybe 42.
Like 48, I thought.
Was it 48? It's possible.
Almost 50.
It was in the 40s. It was in the 40s. So.
And now he's down to 8. Holy shit.
Injuries have been a bitch, man.
Yeah, the injuries have been a bitch, but yeah, the games recently haven't helped.
I think there's reasons for that though.
I mean, you're looking into it and you're making your theory, right? Or you're presenting your theory that he's just trying to stay healthy. I see it more as he's being asked to play a role on the team in that 10 spot when he plays those 2 games. And he's just covering space. He's not making any sort of he doesn't seem to have the freedom to go where he wants to be a part of the play.
Mm-hmm.
He's just covering space, and that's fine. But if you're Kovac, you're trying to stop the leaking of the goals, and you're asking him to get back and cover space up high, so the other team can't, make that through ball pass or whatever. Anyhow, it's a tragedy in the making right now. I'm not going to lose my shit, and those thinking that he's not going to make the team at all for Nations League, I'd be massively shocked if that were true.
So I'd be curious to see if the market interest from Spain, Italy, and France are the same teams and rumors that we heard in previous windows.
Probably.
And they're just saying, no, there's interest there.
I mean, it's interest.
Somebody's going to bid, and somebody's going to get. Hopefully, get somebody on the cheap here.
Yeah, they're going to get a good player for cheap, and well. Again, I don't want to say I've lost all hope for Gio Reyna because I haven't. But we all have gotten to this point where at this point it's almost tiring. It's just tiring. Following it's depressing. It's disappointing on every level.
I was going to somebody wrote a whole spiel about how Gio's been a big disappointment. And I think disappointment really indicates fault at times. Where I would label it more of it's a disappointment, and not a disappointment. It's
it's circumstantial. It's circumstantial in the sense that a lot of weird shits happen. Injuries. Yeah.
It's frustrating. That's probably the best term for it.
New manager. That's not to make an excuse for some of his play, which hasn't been great. And
100% agree. I mean, he's had games this season that just have been actually almost all of his games this season have been meh best. I don't think he's had a couple of moments where he's gotten some assists. I don't know if he's scored yet this season.
And I'm not ignoring that he's comically lazy because he has not been comically lazy in those last 2 games. I mean, that's just you projecting onto him the fact that he's languid and you can't see languid.
Even the coach talked about how he praised his defensive abilities, not defensive abilities, but his defensive
work
game that he put into it. Yeah.
I just think that's not fair.
Yeah.
So that's fine. what I expect from him is not on the defensive end. I expect him to be an offensive weapon.
But the problem is, quite frankly, when and we've talked about this every game that he's played, it just seems like when Gio's in the midfield, that they don't go through the midfield.
No, they play down the wings.
They continue to play down the wings, and then at that point, it takes him out of the equation altogether because he's always vying for that space, but he's not going to be I'm going to run 40 miles an hour down the pitch, down the pitch, down the pitch, down the pitch. You know, he's going to be a guy that's going to look for the space to make combination plays, and it's not there because the plays aren't going through him.
So he's 22 years old, right? So he's got a long ways to go. I am by no means giving up on him. Not, of course not. But I'm a little tired of watching Dortmund, and I'm a little tired of waiting for something to happen.
And that's the thing, right? Even if he has a banger here and there, it's still we're all just biding time at this point until summer comes around.
Yep, exactly.
So,
all right,
he's gonna have some performance here in Nations League. I would imagine Poch is gonna give him an opportunity. And then we have the summer friendlies and then the Gold Cup. So he's gonna have a chance to
he always plays good for us.
Exactly, yeah.
So I mean, he plays good for us. So I'm sure we'll see that continue. And if that starts to wane, now we got a real problem. Noah Kai Banks, by the way, in that game did get the last 10 minutes to shut down the game for Augsburg. They did win. They did win. Good for him.
I saw him go in, but man, I couldn't track where he was on the pitch at any point.
He's actually one of the guys that's kind of easier to track because he's big.
I know. I kept looking back and go, "Fuck, I don't know which one."
Big and lanky, you know. Yeah. And then Kevin Paredes, he's back from injury, but not on the squad. Sands is injured, so that was going to be a Paredes versus Sands game. That nothing there happened. Then there was supposed to be a Henri Chase versus Tolkien game. They're both injured. Then Busio was in the 18. Busio's obviously lost his starting spot. He came off the bench the game before, got like a handful of minutes. Now he's back on the bench again, except this time he doesn't even come in. And Venezia desperately need to win games here at the end of the season, and they're not trusting that to be him anymore. So we'll have to see what happens. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if Busio's even going to make the U.S. squad. We'll see. This is a real Debbie Downer at the end of a long season for Busio.
Well, yeah, we've kind of talked about it anyways for two shows who we think we're bringing in. I don't know if Busio cracked either lineup. I think he cracked our first lineup, but the second lineup definitely there was no space.
Yeah. And then Dietz went 90 and Green went 90 in a tie for Greuther Fürth. Green got an assist. They currently sit 12th out of 18 in 2 Bundesliga, so they're not going anywhere. Downs did not even dress for Kern. He's getting surgery on his hand. Yeah. He's getting surgery on his hand during the international break, so he may not be available. What the hell did he do to his hand?
He turned it into a foot. Look. Joking.
Yeah, wrap that shit up and go play.
Yeah.
It's your fucking hand.
You're not a goalkeeper. Yeah. If you can run, just wait till towards the end of the season.
Just tape all that shit up and go play. I don't know. A hand injury would never stop me from playing soccer.
I feel like that's something you could push to the end of the season.
Yeah.
Give yourself a couple months before, run it through preseason or whatever. I don't know, it just seems a weird time to do it unless there's really a good reason for it.
So I guess they'll probably count him out for Nations League.
Well, and that's a big question now. With Downs out, who do you think's our next center forward up?
I mean, nobody's doing well in MLS.
I've got a number of people's 23 that they're picking pulled up here, and a couple of them have opted to not bring another center forward in at all. It's just going to be Sargent, and then if you have to rely on a second center forward, you've got Weah. So,
but I do think they'll bring one more. It'll probably be Vasquez. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that's what I said too. I said Vasquez. I'm putting my money on Vasquez.
That's where I put my money, although both have had very poor starts of the season. Jordan Morris is playing well, but I think maybe his time has passed. Johnny's saying Maurice Malone, who, has a good handful of goals there in Austria. Again, that's Austria. I'll just say that again. It's Austria, which is worse than MLS generally.
Brian White's the other center forward discussion there.
He scored. Yeah, he's been scoring a little bit here and there. Yeah. I don't know, but I think it's going to be Vasquez. If I had to mind melt with Poach, that's what I'd pick.
Yeah. I don't think White did enough in the Camp Cupcake to really warrant a call-up. Vasquez at least looked lively against Mexico. Aguiman obviously scored a couple goals on his camp, so that could be a plus in Poach's eyes.
Yeah, but Vasquez played well against Mexico.
Sure.
Not some Camp Cupcake bullshit.
Don't disagree with you on that.
All right. And then we go on to Saturday continued. Lund lost, pretty much losing his starting lineup spot for Palermo. Again, didn't play. Was in the 18. Klinsmann went another 90. They're in Serie B. Got a tie. Maybe it's time to start watching. I watched his highlights. He made some incredible,
Who's on that?
Klinsmann.
Oh.
In Serie B.
I guess if you can catch the match.
Well, I didn't. I caught highlights.
My point is that you can't catch every Serie B game.
Well, that's the great thing about highlights with goalkeepers, right? You see every shot on goal, right?
That's a great point. Yep.
It's basically a summary. Did he play well or not? Did it?
But you do miss his ability of receiving the ball, playing back to him, and then him playing the ball out, or his distribution.
Well, if he plays a really bad one, and at least the other team getting a fucking goal chance, you'll see that on the highlights.
Yeah,
right?
but if it's like Turner who gets the ball and then he kicks the ball 40 yards forward and right out of bounds, you don't see that on a highlight.
That's true, but I don't think he's doing that. And by the way, we always knew that the one thing about Jonathan Klinsmann was he had great feet, really good feet. People were saying, "Why don't you just play center forward like your dad? You're really a skilled player." People would always say that to him. So his problem was more about goalkeeping, not so much about his feet. So if he can put both of those things together, maybe we wrote him off, or people wrote him. I never wrote him off because I never thought about him.
Yeah.
Too soon. And there is some talk that if his team does make it to Serie A, he's staying. If they're able to win.
I feel like that you wouldn't, especially if you're a recently promoted Serie B team, goalkeeper may not necessarily be the spot you want to improve upon.
Right. You need to get the spine shored up. You're going to buy 3 players at
playmaker,
center back, center midfielder, center forward. Yeah, maybe a winger. Yeah. All right. And then Mendez. This is in Mexico. Got 20 minutes for Juarez in their loss. Benny Diaz was in the 18 as well for Juarez. He didn't get to play as usual. Fernando Arce was in the 18 for Puebla in their loss. He didn't get to play. Conrad's injured in Switzerland. Caleb Wiley, 20 minutes for Watford. So that's good. That's good. Lyndon Gooch. Man, that guy's been injured. Not injured. Injured. Not injured. Injured. Now he's back to injured. And then on Sunday, Brendan Aronson, this is like the 3rd game in a row, dude. This is Dark Brendan is dead suddenly. He's dead, dude.
I wonder if Poach is watching.
Because Dark Brendan's, where is he? What's he doing with Leeds? This is 3 games in a row I've watched where I've just been like, what's he doing? He's not even there. He doesn't do anything. The fuck? What happened to Dark Brendan? The Dark Brendan that came out at the beginning of this season for Leeds and was doing some pretty good things and was sort of an important cog on that team. He's like nobody nowhere anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on there.
I'm going to blame the English cuisine.
I blame Brendan. Got to get Dark Brendan back. And if that means praying to Satan, you do it. I'm serious. He needs to pray to Satan because Dark Brendan's missing. And they play better without him. They didn't this game, but they did the prior 2 games. When he came out, they played better without him on the field. So that's going to be on him. And at some point, he'll lose the starting spot if this shit continues. Anyhow, Testament, 90 minutes and a pretty darn good 90 minutes from what I can tell from people I've read online who watched the game. So I didn't get to watch it. But
which game? So I was reading the chat.
Testament, Leon, 90 minutes, win.
So here's I was reading this because it's about Dark Brendan.
Well,
he's pretty tired at this point.
Maybe, but he's only playing 65, 68 minutes now these days.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the other part of the season where he's playing 90, yeah, I get it. And he does run a lot, but he's being pulled off pretty early these days. He's not even getting to the 70th minute anymore because they're like, no, this ain't working. Pull Brendan off because this is not Dark Brendan. I don't know who this guy is, this imposter is, but this is not Dark Brendan, right?
Yeah.
So I think he's getting plenty of rest, but okay, point taken. Nathaniel Brown, 90 minutes and a loss. What the fuck is going on in Frankfurt? All of a sudden, this team is imploding. They're imploding late in the season after having such a great, consistently good season. Lately, they are just imploding, Frankfurt.
And to lose to Union Berlin. Oof.
Yeah, I know. Chandler, of course, never plays. It's not worth talking about. He's injured. Yao, 81 minutes and a win alongside Reynolds there in Belgium. Reynolds got the 90 minutes for Westerlo. Then we got Marlon Fossey, 90 minutes and a loss. The whole team played like shit. Really bad. Like Standard Liège, just like Frankfurt. Okay, even worse than Frankfurt. Are imploding at the end of the year. I think they've lost 4 or 5. What the fuck is going on at Standard Liège?
Say Frankfurt's lost 3 of their last 3.
Yep. It's been bad, dude. Like it's just painful. Like if you're looking forward to games on the weekend, you're like, oh yeah, I'll get to watch Nathaniel Brown. And you're like, God, this sucks. And I get a lot of those feelings during the weekend. The AC Milan game for 60, 70% of the game was this game sucks. I was writing you, I was texting you, God, this game's awful. I fucking can't stand watching this game.
You did that for the Juve game.
Yeah, well, I threw out the whole Juve game. Yeah, for sure. And then we had Paxton Aronson go 83, rather not his best moments for Utrecht in a win. It was a win, so that counts for something.
If you're going to do it anytime, that'd be the time.
Yep. Taylor Booth, 63, pretty anonymous minutes for Twente. Bello, 90 minutes for Lask in a win, alongside of Adeniran, who went 90 as well. So there are 2 Americans now on Lask. And then we had Quincy Butler, who used to play, and this was against Quincy Butler. I was shocked to see that Lask was playing another team with also an American on it. I didn't know Quincy Butler was there. He went 90 minutes. He's 23 years old. He former Hoffenheim U19 and 2 player, and Sacramento Republic is where he came up. So Quincy Butler's in Austria as well. Maurice Malone in Austria plays for Vienna, a goal. And he's on loan from Basel right now. And then Pukstas, 33 for Hajduk Split in a win. Andreas Jasson, 25 minutes for AAB in a loss in Denmark. Matthew Hoppe did not dress for Sonderjyski. Oh, God. What's so bad? KR Figueroa.
Derek, I feel like it's time. It's time to cut.
I can't cut. I have relations. All right. KR Figueroa, 11 minutes for the U21s, tied for Liverpool's U21s. Since he moved to the U21s, just a bench player. So there you go. Hello, Aguilar, 210. He who says hello to us. Okay, and then we're not done yet. There's so many fucking Americans in Europe right now. Johan, I'm not complaining. It's just makes Yanks abroad go on forever. Johan Gomez was in the 18 for Braunschweig. They currently sit 16th in the drop zone out of 18. So they're holding on by their fingertips. And he's not playing in what is fingertip moments. So that's not good. That says the coach is going to trust somebody else.
To add to your point as far as how long the Yanks abroad segment goes in comparison to, say, some of the other content creators who do Yanks abroad, since you cover a lot of the lower divisions as well.
Yeah.
As more and more Yanks are going abroad, they may not necessarily be playing for, sexy teams, but, all of a sudden you're talking about relegation bound Bundesliga 2 teams, and you're like, ugh.
Yeah.
At what point do we nix? What time do we cut?
Yeah, I don't know.
We had Johan on the roster. Oh, that was for
no, he's the Olympic squad.
Olympic squad, yeah.
So that's why I cover it. So Calcio Sports Club says, by the way, Osandina loan with Dordrecht ended. Wow. Is now with Casa Pia in Portugal's top division. All right, I'll have to go check that out and see if he's getting any playing time. Yeah. Okay. We move on to Castaneda at Paderborn. He's back to his starting role there. He went 90 minutes in a tie. They currently sit 5th out of 18 teams in 2 Bundesliga, so still in the battle to get promoted. Jonathan Gomez at PAOK. I saw that he was in the roster. I don't know if he played. I forgot to go back and check. EPP, by the way, is injured in Greece. He's back to injured. So, for Panathinaikos. All right, Jonathan Toljan, 90 minutes in a tie for Sassuolo, who sit at the top of the table in Serie B. So, they're likely to be promoted. And Jeremy will be back in Serie A next season. And that was against Novakovic, who went 20 minutes for Bari. I did notice that the guy that Novakovic came in for was a guy named Kevin Lasagna. Yeah, his name's literally Lasagna. Kevin Lasagna. His name's Lasagna. I love it. I'd love to have a last name like that, Lasagna. All right.
It's very stereotypical for your people. So you gotta go with something German, right?
I do, but we always make fun. We always make fun of those spaghetti fresses. Also, I would love my last name to be like Derico Fettuccini, Fettuccini.
Wrong country, though.
Fettuccini Alfredo. I had a stepfather. I must honor his name, too. All right, anyhow. Derico Fettuccini Alfredo. Okay, also, Frankie Amaya. We go back to Mexico in the 18 for Toluca. That's the song and dance all season for Frankie Amaya. Remember, he used to play for the Red Bulls? Now he goes to Mexico. Yeah. He barely gets to play. Cade Cowell, a red card after 4 minutes of play. Boy, has that guy's season gone down the shitter.
Yep.
What is going on at Chivas with Cade Cowell?
0 goals and 0 assists in 11 games this season.
God damn, his game is like broken or something.
JJ says up. Time to convert to a wingback.
Cowell?
Yeah.
Really? I don't know. Is he got his shit together enough to play wingback? He's got to play defense.
Spacey, he can get back.
Maybe. Got to play defense. I don't know. Is he a good defender?
I doubt it.
All right.
He made. I think he played a little bit of wingback for San Jose though at one point.
That didn't work out well for San Jose.
Well, he got transferred to Chivas, so he got that going for him, I guess.
Why? I don't know. He didn't produce in MLS at all.
Too. I have no idea.
Yeah, it's not like he was a great player in MLS, so I'm just shocked by that. Anyhow, shock is over because that was against Zendejas. Zendejas actually only went 30 off the bench, surprisingly, but he has been playing a lot. Yeah. And that was a tie game. Weah and the McKennie game. We were warned at the beginning of the show, don't overdo it on this because somebody's going to counseling because they're Juventus fans and they don't want to live through the nightmare.
Or just active Weah and McKennie fans that watch week in, week out.
In all of my life, Brett, I do not remember a Juventus team this soulless, this lifeless, this gutless. They got trampled. They got embarrassed by Atalanta. It was just, I was so excited that this was a Sunday game, the kind of middle of the day, nothing else to do, so might as well watch this game. Oh my God, it was dreadful.
You were so busy texting me about it, and I was like, "Oh, I'm on kid detail, so I just won't catch that game."
Yeah, I was like, "Don't bother. It's horrendous." And to add to that, I'm sorry, but McKennie and Weah suck too. They suck too.
Just judging, I mean, football was no way to go about it, but just judging by the score or the ratings there, nobody, maybe one person, but nobody really had a good game.
And then it was kind of unlucky, I guess. But, if you're flailing your arm up by your head when you're trying to head the ball out of the box, McKennie, you probably have a chance of that bumping off your head and bumping your arm. And that's what happened. And that's how they got the first free kick. So, what a horrible, dreadful, awful, stinking, just think of the biggest pile of fucking dog shit you've ever seen on a cold winter's day, just steaming on the horizon, right? You can see it, the heat of the poo and the cold air meeting each other. That's how bad that game was. It was atrocious. And then Dest and Ledesma. So Ledesma went 67, then Dest came in for the last 23, but he was only there to kind of shore up the win because as soon as he came in, the other team scored. That was Heerenveen. And then it was just like, hey, just stay back. Don't be roaming forward. Just stay back with the center backs. Don't be taking any risks. We've been giving up goals left and right lately. We need to win this game. We're currently third, pathetically third in the Eredivisie, and without all our American stars like Tillman is missing, obviously, and Pepe would be great replacement for that total schmuck that's been playing center forward for them recently, who couldn't hit the broadside of a barn in that game. He missed so many opportunities in that game. So I think, his days may be coming to an end as far as being the PSV penciled in starter. I really do. I think we'd see a lot of Pepe right now if Pepe were healthy, because that guy is not playing good, period.
Yeah.
End of story.
No. When Pepe comes back for next season, I think, I think they're going to lean right into that.
I think you're right. I think it's time.
De Jong's like 47 years old at this point?
No, but I mean, De Jong's not that 47. He's old, but he's provided great service.
He's like 34 to 35 range.
Last season was a great season.
Sure.
But look at how many minutes he's played, and Pepe, I believe, still the leading scorer on the team.
On the team, yeah.
He scored more goals than De Jong has, I believe, unless something's changed. But anyhow, this PSV team, just not looking the same sort of offensive, possession-based, attacking. That's all seems to be gone with some of the major injuries they've had. And even though they're getting guys like Lang back, I think Till's still injured. He might be back. I don't know.
So Luke De Jong in 22 games has scored 11 goals. Pepe in 18 games has scored 11 goals.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine if you look at minutes played, I would imagine De Jong's probably got significantly more still.
Way more. Pepe's goal per minutes is way higher. Way higher. So anyhow, Luke De Jong, great servant to the team, but his days might be numbered. He did not look good in that game, and that's my personal opinion.
If your PSV, is he going to be a serviceable off the bench player, or are you going to start focusing on another young player to back up Pepe?
I think it depends. It depends what you have in the
ranks.
Yeah, what's coming up, right, and who you can trust. Until then, why not keep De Jong around to come off the bench every 20 minutes? If he can get hot sometimes.
Sure.
He's good in the air. He's good in the box. I mean, not this season he hasn't been, but not like seasons before, not even close. So, All right. Oh, that's Yanks abroad, folks. That's all I got.
Ba-da-bum, ba-da-bum.
Yanks
Okay.
abroad.
You know, for the fact that we covered that and we have the midweek report and stuff like that, we really do need to get an intro for this.
Yeah, we do. Yep.
That'll be next break. So what, spring break for you? You can get that done, right?
Well, I can get it done this weekend. Yanks abroad. Yanks abroad. Something dumb like that.
Like the over there type of tune.
Why could you do it to even flow? Yanks abroad. Float around like put some marbles in my mouth. I'll do that. I'm going to do the use even flow for Yanks abroad.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah.
We gotta go.
Problem solved.
Let's keep the trend of using inside jokes for our show.
Yeah, for sure. I had somebody ask me the other day who I ran into who had watched my show. She's like, what's this whole stepsister thing you guys do? Like, well, it goes back to this guy many years ago who asked us because he was, I don't remember how old he was, like 19, 18, 17, 16. And he asked us for advice about the fact that he and his stepsister were kind of getting on, or things were getting hot and heavy. And they only known each other for a year. Like, so their parents had just married and they just met each other and they fell in love kind of. And they're like, do we tell our parents, or what do we do? And we gave
I always assumed it was just a joke. Like it was a joke of a question and it just sort of spawned.
It might have been a joke of a question, but we gave an honest answer on what you should do there. Right?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's been our running answer moving forward at this point, right?
Right. So somebody asked, I let him know, and that's why it's an inside joke. He's like, you're always saying kiss your stepsister or bring her to the show. I'm like, okay, it's an inside joke.
Well, we also say bring your grandma too, so.
Yeah. Because your grandma's hot, and I'm into her. Yeah. All right. My humor was not stunted at 15. I have older humor too.
Well, I mean, you do talk a lot about sprained testicles and
sprained testicles. I've never talked about spraying testicles. Sprained. Okay. I'm like watching.
I've never talked about spraying testicles. What's that about?
Yeah, spraying testicles. What the hell is all that about? I'm cleaning them? Are you accusing me of cleaning other people's testicles? Oh, God. Yeah. Oh, he said 13. I said 15, so even worse.
Even worse.
Yep. Okay, what else we got? Do we have anything left?
Ashton never gets notified when we're all live. Well, good news is we're always live on Monday and Thursday at 8:15.
Yeah. Monday, Thursday, 8:15 p.m. Eastern time. Always here, Ashton. We hear like religiously, except for when Brett's at a pegging convention in Florida, or he's sick.
Maybe combined sick of the pegging
pegging conventions.
Could be.
His butt hurts. All right. He's sore. All right.
Life, man.
All right. Yeah, well, we're always here on Mondays and Thursdays at 8:15. So please, by the way, all of you have friends that love soccer. Why aren't they watching our show? Tell them to watch our fucking show. Say, watch this fucking show, you idiots. Send them a link to the show and say, you are stupid if you're not watching the show. Like, don't offend them, but, you're friends, so you can throw out a kind of, hey, dude, what are you doing, man? Watch the show. What are you, dumb? You dumb? You dense? Or anyhow. All right, go ahead, Brett.
Lenny goes, I don't have friends. Sad face.
All right. Well,
Lenny.
If you do have friends, your friends need to be watching this show. And we've got you, Lenny. We're here for you. Nobody likes you at soccer. None of my friends watch soccer. It's a girl sport.
It's fair. All fair counterpoints, guys.
We get it. Trust us. We get it. We came up through that era.
As we enter closer to the roster that's being announced tomorrow.
Yes.
let's talk about some rosters here. I got some champagne problem, and then we got some lineups, or not lineups, but some 23s that some people on the twits had posted. So
let's check them out. Let's see what they did.
So first off, Otaku says, "Hey, this is a great problem for Poach 7-6."
It's not. I mean, it's a problem. It's not a problem. Is what I'm telling you. Adams is starting.
Well, no. I agree. But here's the issue, right? Let's just assume that only 2 of the 3 get brought in. We obviously know Adams is a lock as long as he's healthy. If Johnny comes, people are going to be like, "Oh, what the fuck? Poach is an idiot. He didn't bring in Tessman." And if Tessman comes in instead of Johnny, then people are going to be like, "Dude, Johnny's killing it at Batiste." Quick question, actually. Why I say their name? Is it Batiste or is it Bettis? Because Jimmy and company keep saying Bettis.
I believe it's real Batiste.
I think it's Batiste. It sounds cooler.
I don't know. I think I know enough Spanish, but
unless that's an inside joke for them, because maybe Jimmy or whatever kept saying a Bettis, and somebody called them out on it. I don't know. Maybe it's an inside joke, but
I don't think so.
One of the recent shows they kept saying Bettis, so I don't know.
They're wrong. Anyhow, yeah, I think it's Adams, and I think if you're building that, the formation that Poach is most likely to use, it's going to be hard for Testament or Johnny to squeeze in there right away. But we'll see, because then you got Adams, McKennie playing the sort of deliverer role, if you will. I don't know. We put him up. We put the roster up before.
Yeah, so. It's also possible all 3 come.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Right on the midfield.
I think we had Tessman as the quote unquote, if you will, on the roster as Adams' backup, and Cardoso was the quote unquote backup for McKennie.
It's like Cardoso can do a 6 or an 8.
Yeah.
He's got a little bit more flexibility. So we'll see what happens there. All right.
Yeah, I don't think this is much. I mean, it's nice to have the champagne problem is it's nice to have so many players like this, but it's not up for debate.
Didn't cover Adams this weekend. I don't know how that didn't get on my list there.
That's a great point.
But goals weren't his fault. He was just great. He is what he is. He's a lane killer and destroyer. He's like, he goes left all the way to the line, right all the way to the line. He's wherever the ball is and about, wherever the lane is that the other team wants to pass through, he's clogging it. That's what he does. And he doesn't get a lot of plaudits, but even the announcers on the game were like, he doesn't get a lot of credit for all the work he does. But boy, has Tyler Adams been playing well.
Yeah.
So Winkley says, "Yo, Brett and Derek, I just got here. How's it going? Did I miss anything crucial?" No, not really.
An hour and 19 minutes of crucialness.
That's true. It's all been crucial. Yeah. It's absolutely crucial.
Just go back, mark it out. You're about an hour and 19 minutes in. Just go back and rewatch it to an hour and 19 when you get the time.
Yeah, absolutely. All right.
Okay. Let's start with a friend of the show's 23.
Okay.
That's Pete.
All right. Turner, Horvath, coach. I'm not going to bother arguing goalkeepers.
I think that's more or less what we picked anyways.
Yeah, I just think it's a waste of time. Fullbacks, Scally. Yeah. A-Rob. Although, here's the thing, which we did. Scally's not going to be playing. Anyhow, this should be listed as wingbacks, not fullbacks.
If you want to avoid the whole conversation as far as what Scally is, and this is for anybody who wants to post a roster up, just say defense.
Yeah, because he's playing. If he does play, he'll be playing right center back. If he plays, if he starts.
I agree with Zar here. There is no point in bringing 3 fullbacks.
Right. We had that discussion too. I don't know if we ended up putting Fossey on there for shits and giggles or not.
We did for I think for Musa's role.
Yeah. Right.
Not for Scally in that sense.
Right. And then you got Richards, McKenzie, Ream, Trusty, CCV. It's a lot of center backs. I think they're just going to be, if Scally's counted as one of them, 4 more.
But I'm going to flat out say that our last lineup, we did 6 center backs too.
That's true.
Although we had, I think we had Banks over CCV or Trusty, one of the two.
CCV is so injury prone with his big toe. I don't know. This looks fine to me, though. I mean, if it happened, I wouldn't be surprised. And then midfield, Adams, yes. Johnny, yes. Musa, yes. McKennie, yes. Reyna, yes. Busio, I don't think that's anywhere 100% right now, based on where Busio's situation at the club and Venezia's play in general. Not impressive.
Well, plus, I mean, you're looking at Adams, Johnny, McKennie, Busio, Paxton, Tessman, all vying for 2 spots.
And Brendan,
but he's not vying for the 8. He'll be vying for the 10 / double pivot 10.
And that's what this whole thing just doesn't seem to lay out, right? We still got Pulisic, Weah, and Zendejas listed as straight up wingers, where honestly, Weah and Pulisic play like pinched in 10s.
That could be just a technicality in the sense that they're going to be out wide, but they're going to pinch in. Mm-hmm. So just accept that's what it is. But I mean, it leaves us relatively thin in the attack as far as options. I mean, obviously McKinney could play in that role alongside like a Pulisic or a Weah. Not necessarily Weah. I mean, we want Pulisic in there at all times, but Paxton can play that role.
Yeah,
Reyna can obviously play that role.
Not sure Paxton makes the team either.
Sure. So I guess you don't necessarily have to have. I mean, I guess who else are we missing on the wing, quote unquote wing in that sense?
Well, nobody really, because Aronson can play out there. I guess
he's the one.
Who?
Dark Brennan.
Yep.
He's the one missing.
So it's this fine lineup. I think we're still bringing 2 center forwards though. I really do.
And that'll be in this lineup. That'll be at the expense of Busio or Paxton.
Yep.
And I think the other person, Paxton or Busio, is going to be going to be cut at the expense of Brennan Aronson. Not, as you talked about, not because he's necessarily playing great, lights out at Leeds, but I think Poach likes him.
He does like him, so I would etch out Busio and Paxton and replace them with Brendan, you would hope, and Vasquez.
Yeah.
That's a lot of midfielders, by the way.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, right? I mean, you're looking at basically 2 spots for all those players.
Yeah.
But he doesn't Musa, so there's going to be the outside.
Musa will be the other wing back, right?
Yeah.
So he would have been listed if we did wing backs, which should have been out. Maybe out should have been listed. He'd be there with A-Rob and Fossey.
Fossey, yeah. Because Scally would be in, yeah.
Yeah. And then Scally would be moved to the center backs because that's what he's going to play if he plays at all, which is a debate we had. So.
We'll see. Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Got 10 more days to prove me right.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to that.
Okay. Next lineup. Listener of the show.
Samos says, the goalkeeper is pretty much the same.
Yep.
Richards, McKenzie, CCB, Trusty Bream.
Actually,
kind of the same thing.
The outside backs are the same too.
I like that he listed his outside backs, though.
Yeah.
That makes a lot more sense. Although you got to throw Musa in there then too, right?
I mean, you saw Scally listed there too. Again, this is all us assuming it's going to stay the same. Which I mean, nothing else to prove otherwise.
Is there any evidence otherwise?
No, I mean it's your team came out and flat out played balls out, lights out, great soccer. Why would you fuck around with it? Nothing's really changed.
Did not Pulisic play a 10?
Yeah.
Yeah. So why are we calling him a winger? Didn't play winger. Did he play somewhere, sometimes out? Yeah. But did he play down the middle? A whole fucking pinch in constantly? Yeah, he did that too.
Well, so, I mean, Weah played more of an out winger on the left hand side with Jedi. Musa in the attack plays up higher, almost like the opposite.
Hold on. When Musa brought the ball all the way up the right wing, what did Weah do? Pinch in.
Sure. I'm just saying that there are enough times where, again, Weah was hugging that sideline and would cut. Maybe that's only when the ball's on the left-hand side. I don't know. I can't remember that well.
Oh, you're when they switched. When Weah was on the left, when Jedi would bring the ball up the left side, he would pinch in.
Sure. Well, of course, you want to open up the space.
Yep. So, again, are we playing 210s, or are we still going to refer to them as wingers? I mean, I'm not. I don't care that much about it.
Yeah,
it is semantics.
Any formation that pops up on online or on the TV is going to have them listed as wingers outside.
Because honestly, in this lineup that he has, Musa should be listed as an outside back because that's what he's going to play for Poach.
Yeah.
And he's going to start there too. So we don't have any Dest to play that role. One of our favorites as well. Freeze. Schulte? Turner? I don't think you're going to get that, my friend. I really don't.
I see him rating Turner and Schulte as being the top two, and then at that point it's the third one that you're choosing between. Horvath obviously is getting matches now. Freeze running off his high, but then again, Freeze didn't play at all during the Camp Cupcake. So one would imagine that you'd have to, if you're going to pick any of those goalkeepers from the Camp Cupcake, could be Stefan.
I'd be really surprised if Horvath doesn't make this team based on what he's done in the last 3 games for Coventry City. It would surprise me.
Sure. And
then Schulte's had a kind of rough beginning to the season for the crew, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Look here. He said he actually listed them as defenders and forwards.
That's a good way to get around all that, isn't it?
Get around the shenanigans, the hypotheticals, all that stuff. Yeah.
But you'd still need to list Musa as a defender. Okay, he's going to be back there playing defense as a right wing back. So count on it. Or not. Don't count on it. It could be wrong. It could be, give Horvath a shot. I mean, it could be. That's going back sometime for that joke. It could be all of a sudden Poach is out there with a 4-3-3, a real one, right? But why would he do that after preparing the team for several games in a row to play the 3? What do you want to call this thing?
3-4-2-1.
And then on defense, a 5-4-1. A 5, no.
Well, I guess in the attack, you almost go to a 4-3-3 or 3-3-1 because Musa is always up high in the attack.
Well, and there's a lot of switching and rotating.
Yeah, so. It's impossible to buckle it down, quite frankly.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can sort of sit there, and this is why I think it may even be better to list it as how Colin was saying what you play in the defense.
Yes.
And just simply go with the 5, whatever, 5-3, whatever it is.
5-4-1 is what it looks like on defense. But on offense, it's just a mishmash of total football and players switching positions. You'll see fucking Jedi play as a center defensive mid. You'll see him switch on the left with Weah. If he's playing on the same side with Weah on the left, Weah will go play left back as he goes up the field. Pulisic roams wherever he wants to roam.
Yeah.
Right? So, yeah. I think it's sort of wide open here. And then, so this is fine. I'm not seeing anything outrageous
not a
here.
huge amount of difference. I mean, again, another Paxton Aronson call up, which don't get me wrong. I think Paxton's earned a call up soon. I don't know if Nations League is going to be his first call up. Maybe the friendlies.
I'd be shocked if Brian White makes this team.
Yeah, that's the other question mark. You're right. Not even a question mark. Well, we talked about a second striker, and I guess at that point, do you call in Agumon, who scored, brace and Camp Cupcake?
No.
Do you call in Vasquez?
It's Vasquez.
Or do you call in Brian White, who's scoring goals?
I think it's really going to be Vasquez. I really do.
I think it will be too. That's why, like I said, that's who I put money on.
Mm-hmm.
Assuming the surgery rumor or topic is accurate.
Yeah, with Downs. Well, it seems to be somewhat accurate.
It seems real enough.
Nobody comes up with that. Like, that's not something that comes out. I mean, that's not that's bound to be more accurate. It's not like he had herpes or something. Even that would be more realistic too, because you're like, nobody puts out a report that a player is not going to play because they have a really bad case of herpes, right? So nobody says a guy's going to miss this because he's got hand surgery.
Yeah, you don't want to say herpes. You just say what Chicago does and says lower body. Or whatever it was.
It's like Dominic Downs broke his right wrist because he was stroking so heavily on his giant cock that he broke it. Now he needs surgery. So, nobody's going to make that up. Like, either that's real or it's just a joke, right? It's one or the two.
We talked about Morris as an option. Well, as an option on there, and Derek, you talked about how he's scoring goals in MLS. I don't think Morris is going to offer what we need at a forward position, maybe a wing position. But then, would he be a viable 10, like what we see with Pulisic and stuff like that?
Still can't help of thinking of Jordan Morris every time I see him as Charlie Brown. He looks like Charlie Brown. He's got the same shaped head as Charlie Brown. I like Jordan Morris, and I like that he eventually. I still like him. I don't
have a problem against him. I don't rate him as a U.S. men's national team quality caliber player.
I think at this point he is the hottest center forward that we got going right now.
I want to hear about who you find attractive, Derek.
Yeah, I'm not talking about his ball sack. I'm talking about his ball play. So I think it's been really good for Seattle, Brett. And
fine. I mean, it's pretty consistent enough to say that he's going to do well at Seattle.
But I don't think he's ever gotten a look from Poach. Okay. I don't think Poach knows Morris from a hole in the wall.
Yeah. So, I think Morris's inclusion in the 60 is simply from staff. Like the ghostwriter says, staff. So I think that's what it is.
I thought you meant he got a hard on watching the highlights.
He got inclusion from his,
No. But so we'll see. I still think it's going to be Vasquez because of what he did versus Mexico and what, he's comfortable with the guy he knows. And the guy's already been playing with the other the guys that he's going to bring in. They know Brendan Vasquez. I think that feels comfortable. Whereas Bayan never played with this first team before. It'll be like a fish out of water for him. All right, Alex Calabrese.
That's a goalkeeper choice.
What the fuck's going on?
Wait a minute, Turner. I didn't see Turner for whatever reason.
Freeze again, huh? I'm sorry, but
Alex is an MLS guy, and Freeze was one of the top options.
Well, his mom works for MLS. No, yes. Wait, no, his mom works for US.
Sounds like an insult. It sounds like you're insulting him. Like your mom works for MLS.
Your mom works for US Soccer. My bad. I believe. I may be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure she does.
I guess it's not terribly different from what we picked in this sense, except for we didn't pick Freeze. We picked Horvath / Schulte, so it's not that out of crazy. It's not that crazy.
No, so far, I like the fact that he's just generalizing on defense. And midfield.
This is our first Miles Robinson inclusion, though.
Yeah, no. I hope that doesn't happen.
But he picked it over Ream and CCV. Those two.
Yeah, that's not happening. That's just not happening.
And no backup wingback option.
Yeah. 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 No, that's not good. You got to have at least one.
Aiden Morris. Okay. Jumping ahead here. Guessing
Mihailovic?
Dark Brendan, I'm assuming. Adams, Johnny, McKennie, Mihailovic. He explains why he picked Mihailovic.
And that's a love thing from Poach, right?
What?
He really likes Mihailovic.
Yeah. Not Miljevic.
No fucking way. It's more likely Miljevic than Mihailovic.
He picked Mihailovic because of his free kick taking. And I'm like, yeah, okay, he's been pinpointed for Colorado. However, that requires him to take one of the 11 spots on the pitch.
He's not taking any free kicks. He's not even making the team. And if you really want to take free kicks, let Reyna take them. He's better than anybody else on the team.
Remember during qualifying, made the joke, not even a joke, I guess it was kind of somewhat serious, that Kellen Acosta's only reason he's included is because of his free kick masteries. That's because he had that one 40-yard bomb against Honduras in the cold.
He's really good at corner kicks too.
Yeah.
But listen, Mihailovic isn't that good.
Again, the big question is whose spot does he take? And then, let's see, there's no Tessman, which is possible. It's possible.
No way.
There's Aiden Morris in the lineup too.
Yeah, what the fuck's up with that? Yeah, I don't get this at all. I don't think this is happening. No, I will guarantee you 30% of this is wrong. It's wrong. There's going to be no Aguiman.
No downs, apparently.
No downs because of his jerking off injuries. Yeah.
So obviously we talked about the versatility of players. You have Pulisic and you have Weah, but nobody really to back him up except for Reyna can fill in that role. We talked about how McKennie can even push up into that spot. Or I guess Mihailovic would push in that spot. The Pulisic and Weah role.
Mihailovic isn't pushing up into any spot.
Fair enough. I'm talking about it. Just talking about his roster here.
Well, I don't care. He's not pushing up into any spot.
But then it's like, why bring in 3 strikers?
Yeah, we're not.
And arguably, I mean, from the little I've seen of Downs and the little I've seen of Aguiman, they play a very similar, pacey style anyways. Why bring in 2 of the same type of strikers? Not saying they're exactly the same, but...
I like Alex, but this is just way off. Way off.
He's welcome. Everybody's welcome to have their own option for 23.
Right. It just doesn't seem like he has
my selection.
Yes, he did. Thank you for that.
I've noticed a lot more people are doing that now.
Yes, because we made a point of it. Yep. We made a point. Quit putting out your fucking Disney rosters unless you're going to take account for them. And people are, and I do appreciate that a lot. Yeah. So this is a Disney roster in the sense this is his wish list. When I wish upon a star, blah, 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 who you are. Yeah, this is what he picked.
Yeah.
And I just, no way. This is no chance at happening. And even if I had my wish list, this is not what it would look like at all. So,
yeah.
My voice is cracking tonight a lot. All right. My roster. All right. Freeze again. This is just crazy with the freeze.
What is this Twitter font?
I'm not. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, listen, guys, I'm not saying Freeze doesn't deserve some acknowledgement.
I'd be shocked
but
if he got in.
He's not ever really even got a chance to play for us. And we know Poach loves coaching. And we know whoever the third goalkeeper isn't playing. So I would think more than likely, I would even put Stefan ahead of Schulte because I think that Poach loves him some Stefan. But
Stefan made a case for himself in Camp Cupcake too. So it's likely going to be Stefan. I think we picked Schulte last line, but I would be shocked. It's going to be between Steffen and Horvath at this point, right?
Yes.
You got to imagine.
Mm-hmm. And then the third goalkeeper doesn't matter, and it'll be it could be coach.
Yeah.
Yeah. I fucking hate that guy, Derek, about Freeze. I've never said that. Never. I do respect Freeze. I really do. But he just never got a shot. Why would it start now? Why would it start now? And then he's just going to ride Pine.
Ooh, Adrian, you got Tolkien in the 23, man. He's not back from injury, is he?
He's not back from injury. He's not playing.
Yeah.
So that's not going to happen. Who else
Kelly,
is not?
McKenzie, Richard.
Lund! Holy Lund!
Trusty. Lund wasn't in the 60, though.
No, he can't play. He didn't make the 60. Yeah. Why are we putting Lund in there? And I think Fubar mentioned that Haji's back. Yeah, but Haji didn't make the 60. He's not eligible to make the team. Anybody that didn't make the 60 is not eligible to be on the 23-man roster.
Wait a second. Look at the backs. Look at the backs. Who are we missing? Because we got Scally, Tolkien, Fossey, and Lund.
You're missing fucking Jedi? Who did this? Whose lineup was this?
It's Adrian. He's a listener of the show.
Okay. Well, Adrian.
I think it was an oversight. Oversight. We're going to classify.
Got to be an oversight. Yeah.
I think Lund is supposed to be Jedi.
Well, that's nice of you. Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, he did say again, it's my roster. Yeah. Thank you for that. And when you wish upon a star, makes no difference who you are. Yeah, you can do what you want when it's your roster. You can get it as wrong as possible.
Yeah.
And this is one that's just, with Jay Tolkien being injured, not going to play. Lund can't even start at Palermo anymore. Who's to say Lund isn't better than Jedi? About everybody in the world?
Zar's kidding. He's kidding.
I know he is.
Or he or she's kidding. I don't know. I don't understand.
Got to be kidding, because Lund can't start for Serie B, a B team.
Serie B.
Serie B. Can't start for fucking Palermo on a regular basis this season. Didn't play the last game. Rode Pine for 90. All right. McKennie Adams is fine. Johnny Musa, Reyna. Paxton is no guarantee. Neither is Busio. And neither is Tessman, really. Hard to say. We'll see what happens there.
His forward list gets interesting.
Well, can I just say this? Don't be surprised if Luca De La Torre makes this team.
I would be surprised because he's yet to be a part of Poach at all.
Doesn't matter. Poach he knows who he is. He was injured for most of that. So
he wasn't playing for most of that. What are you talking about?
He wasn't playing, but he was injured. That's why he wasn't playing. For Celta de Vigo, he was injured.
Celta de Vigo had no interest in playing him. He wasn't playing because he
and then he came back briefly, played a couple games, and then was sold or was loaned to San Diego.
Yeah. No, right. I'm going to flat out say I will be shocked if he's included.
Over who? Over Busio?
Luca De La Torre?
Yeah.
I don't think he's.
Who's contributed more to the U.S. men's national team in the last 3 years? Busio or Luca De La Torre?
I don't think Poach has paid attention to the U.S. men's national team to see Luca De La Torre contribute.
I think he knows who he is.
I'm sure he knows of him.
Neither are making the team, though. I'm just making an argument for argument's sake.
Yeah. Well, I have to double check our roster, but I thought we had Busio in there.
Yeah. Cole Campbell's not making this team either.
No, definitely not for Nations League. I would like to see Cole Campbell, but he needs to get some playing time on an actual club.
Right. And Diego Luna, not going to make it either.
I'm still holding out hope.
We're just giving you realism. You're allowed to do whatever you want with your own Disney roster because you said it's my roster.
Yeah.
So respect for saying my roster and not what I think Poach is going to do. You're saying this is what I would do. And we're just saying We're comparing your Disney roster or your wish list roster to reality.
Yeah.
And we're just telling you Don Tolkien ain't coming. He's injured. And we're just telling you that Paxton Aronson has just this kind of amount to make the team. Tessman, probably more. Busio, probably a little more than Paxton even. But I guarantee you Brendan Aronson's got above all those guys to make this club. And, well, he's got Dark Brendan.
Yeah.
Cole Campbell ain't making this team. And neither is Diego Luna. So we're just bringing reality to your picks. And I don't take offense to it. We're just breaking it down and saying, in the real world, I doubt Poach is doing that.
And I've made the argument for Diego just from Poach's big balls comment.
All right. Well, I wouldn't take a big pair of balls and take that for all it's worth. I would make sure that even though those are indeed the very words that came out of his mouth.
Yeah. I think Diego Luna stands a better chance than Luca De La Torre, in my opinion, at this point.
I don't. I think they, if worst comes to worst, they got about the exact same chance.
I agree that I don't think personally, I don't think either going to make it. I'm holding out. Hope's not the word, but England's chance, I guess, for Diego because of what Poach said, and he talked about how some of the Camp Cupcake members would be their most likely goalkeepers.
Yeah, come on, though. He's also said it doesn't matter where you play. We all know that's bullshit.
Sure.
We all know that is bullshit. It does matter where you play and how you play in the bigger leagues. It does fucking matter. But he's just being political.
The whole big discussion for another day, but doesn't matter where you play compared to actually playing. Like if you play for a club in Bundesliga, but you don't play, is that better than starting and playing week in, week out in MLS?
Well, who's not playing?
And Poach's eye.
Yeah, but who's not playing?
I'm using this as an example, hypothetical, Derek. Not based off anything.
I mean, the plain
fact. Okay, here's an example. Turner and Horvath up until like a handful of weeks ago, like not even a handful of weeks ago.
I'm not arguing goalkeeper.
A lick of minute. I'm just saying. Not playing a lick of minutes. There's an example.
Give me another position. I'm not arguing goalkeeper because you're right.
Yes, I am. Of course, I win. Let's see.
But honestly, any other position, there's no discussion. Everybody is playing
here. No, I mean, Reyna's even playing. Even though it's not that much, but he's at least playing.
Yep.
So
everybody's playing. Everyone's playing.
Yeah.
Musa, Reyna, Johnny, Adams, McKennie, Tessman.
He's playing.
That will be the biggest ball cozy pick I've ever seen if it happens.
Like the Camp Cupcake call-up alone was enough ball cozy pick.
It was a ball cozy pick.
Blew me away when it happened.
That's I want to cuddle your balls, your Argentinian pick. Yes. I don't know how many more we're going to have of those.
Yeah. Not a lot of time. We do have the friendlies, of course. Good board. We do
All
have
right.
the friendlies. We can just, but here we go. All right.
All right. Hold on. For the 156 of you here now, make sure you like, subscribe, share it with grandma. Don't forget to hit the fucking like button. All right. And we'll probably put out a 10-minute 15 spot next, like tomorrow, late about the roster.
Yeah.
It won't be live, but whatever.
Now we'll cover in more detail on Thursday because we need something to do before that happens for the game next week. Right. But we'll just do a quick recap and surprise! Here comes insert random. We didn't believe this person was going to make the roster. It's going to happen, guarantee you.
Right. Now that we're at 160, we could get to 169.
Hopefully, yeah.
All right.
So U.S. Men's National Team report posted his.
I like the likability list. Yeah.
It's my U.S. Men's National Team player likability list.
Mm-hmm.
So here we go.
I would not say that's true for most people.
What, his favorite player?
Yeah, I would say a lot of people complain that Tillman doesn't bring it for the U.S. men's national team.
It's a reasonable comment to make.
And I would say, like, I'm just comparing his picks versus what I hear. And sure. I think he would drop further down this list to, like, show up. Show up, buddy.
I feel like his favorite player, I think Tillman is his favorite player, not based off of U.S. men's national team performances, despite the fact that he says my U.S. men's national team likability list or whatever it was. I think he's basing it more on his club play.
Well, that's fine. But
that's fine.
You better put an asterisk by it then, because as far as U.S. men's national team delivery, he hasn't delivered. And I think that there's been a lot of critical voices talking about Tillman, and that he would drop down in reality, he would drop down this list heavily. To show up, motherfucker, if that's a category, that's where he would be. Mm-hmm. Show up, motherfucker. That would be the category he would be placed in. His boys, Richards, very likable. Balogun's injured. Doesn't matter. He loves Haji Wright. That's good. Mark McKenzie, fine.
That's a surprise. It's a surprise pick because nobody really had McKenzie listed as my boys, unless you're a Union fan. Nobody had it up until his move to Toulouse.
This is very recent, though.
It is absolutely, yeah.
I think a lot of us have moved McKenzie way up the ladder.
100%, yes, I agree with that.
Since he moved to Toulouse, and since his more recent U.S. men's national team playing time, like I'm impressed by him. I really am. Moving forward, through balls, aggressiveness, intelligence, general IQ, defensive IQ. It's like the kid's. He's not a kid. He's a grown man now. He's just improved a lot. I don't mind having him in my boys. Noah Kai Banks seems a little early. I would have him in my kids list, not my boys list, but certainly somebody I keep my eye on. Weah, after today's game, or yesterday's game.
You don't drop a player from my boys.
I get it. He's a starter.
It's not going to happen.
So is McKennie. Yeah. So even though they both had really shitty games, so did the whole fucking team. So,
but Derek, I've got to ask a question. On your list, where does Hoppy fall? Favorite players or my boys?
He's not even on it because he's not going to make the team.
Well, this is likability. I mean, you can put anybody in this list if you want to imagine.
Well, likability.
Or do you think he made this list based off the potential upcoming roster?
I mean, I obviously like the whole Hoppy family, so it's not really fair. All right.
Pepe's included. This has to be just men's national team, period.
Soft spot for Jedi. For me, Jedi's moving up to my boys.
Oh, I would imagine.
Caleb Wiley.
He's there for me for the U.S. men's national team, 100%.
Yeah. And we're just doing this based on pictures. I'm guessing that's Caleb Wiley next to him. I would say I'm still waiting patiently. Pulisic. Why would you have a soft spot for him? Shouldn't he be one of your boys?
Gotta be, man. I feel like Pulisic's got to be in everybody's list for my boys.
Yeah, no kidding. Reyna.
That's fair. That's a fair soft spot, unless he's in your my boys list.
No, I mean he's not. He used to
not
be
you. I'm you in general. The royal you.
Right. I'm saying I understand it because he came off of my boys list and now he's been in my soft spot list for some time.
Yeah.
Just because
that's a fair assessment to have. Yeah.
I can't let go. I can't let go. Anyhow, so I've moved him out of my boys to soft spot. And then Cardoso, yeah, still a soft spot. I wouldn't move him to my boys section yet. Paxton, yeah, that's fine. That works there. Pepe, yeah, okay, fine. What about you?
He'd fall in my soft spots.
Yeah. Dest.
They're wording this now.
Yeah, that's fair. Adams, I'm moving to my boys. Moving Adams to my boys list.
Fair enough assessment, yeah. I'm fine with that.
And then Musa, I got a soft spot, but I got a lot of criticisms. So I'll just leave him there. That's fine.
I think overall, I think his performance, especially earlier on in his tenure with Greg, I think he was perfectly fine. I mean, I thought his ball movement up was fine. Just the final third wasn't there, but he wasn't required to do the final third shit because Greg always played it out wide eventually, and then it's in. So you took that final third option out. You just played his ball control and his ability to cut through tight spaces. But
Johnny says Adams is soft as hell. Are you watching the Bournemouth games?
Who do you got listed as your favorite player? Because you only go with one, I guess, because it's your favorite.
Right now. Yeah, I've never really had a favorite player on this group. That's kind of sad.
You got to pick one.
Well, then I'm just going to go with Pulisic. Sorry.
I'm going with Wes.
Okay, that's fair. I love Wes, but he's definitely one of my boys. I'd go with that. But I really don't have a favorite player right now. I'm waiting. Like, the only obvious standout to me, for the most part, game in and game out and consistently, would be Pulisic. So that I just don't have a favorite player. Like, during the era that Jermaine Jones and Dempsey were there, at flip-flop between Dempsey and Jermaine Jones, Jermaine Jones. But
you're listing favorite player as Pulisic based on results, not necessarily.
Yeah, because I don't have one. Right.
I'm kind of surprised you just didn't lump Jedi up there. Because you mean biased towards
here's the thing.
He's consistent with the U.S. men's national team.
He would definitely be my favorite player, except I've got a little issue with the last few games for Fulham.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay, so otherwise you'd be right. I'd be absolutely biased and put Jedi in there. But because of the last few games and him kind of having a little bit of a stinker of a section of the season, all right, if you really did force me to pick a favorite player, I would say Jedi. You're right. To be honest, I would. Neutral. Yeah, pretty much neutral on almost all these dudes. You got Zendejas, Busio. You got
Morris.
That's not Morris.
That's not Morris.
That's Yao.
Yeah.
Yao, Scally, Paredes, Maloney. Although I'd almost move
there he is.
Maloney up. I'm a big Maloney proponent as long as he's playing center back. Give him a shot.
Maloney's teetering for me as far as a soft spot and my boys, just simply because I watched like almost all of Heidenheim games.
I know, me too. So
because nobody else watched Heidenheim, so I watched Heidenheim pretty religiously, just so that I could be the Maloney expert.
I just wish they'd give him a shot at center back because I think he could play it. And then we got Schulte after Fossey.
Yeah.
And then who the fuck is that in between Tannerman?
Is that Richie?
Is that Ledesma?
That's what his name is. Is that Richie? Yeah. Pretty sure.
Yeah, that's probably Ledesma. Yeah, that's Ledesma. All right, so yeah, that's all fine. I'm fine with neutral and all this.
Yeah, except for Maloney.
Yeah, Maloney, I'd move up to soft spot. And then meh. You got Morris, Rusty. I have a soft spot for Diego Luna.
Yeah.
I have a soft spot for Josh Sargent.
Sargent, I think Sargent's probably gonna be on my boys list. I know he hasn't really produced goals for the U.S. men's national team, but it's my boys list.
That's fair. I
watched damn near all of Norwich's games that I can.
Yeah, it's hard to watch that many Norwich games and not feel like he's one of my boys.
Yeah.
Taylor Booth's going through a rough time, so he's stuck in my Luca De La Torre is playing for San Diego. Meh. Mihailovic can drop down to another, whatever the lower spot of is.
That's not Mihailovic.
Yeah, it is.
Next to Ream?
Yep. Sure as hell is.
You mean
no?
Miljevic?
It's Miljevic. Sorry.
Yeah. This is going to be the McKenzie and McKennie thing for you all over again every time.
It will be. Yep. It's Miljevic, and he can drop down lower than And then Ream, definitely put him in one of my boy spots. I'm sorry. He's a Fulham legend to me.
Yeah. I mean, I've been a big proponent for Ream since the New York days. So I don't know if he'd make my boys list by any means. So maybe soft spot.
Yeah, that's fair. You're not a Fulham guy. For me, he's up there. All right, that's about it. I mean, do we have more to cover here?
No, that's it.
All right, guys. Whew, 2 hours. I can't believe that's 2 hours already, but it is. I want to thank everybody that came out tonight for this coverage. We'll have a 10-minute, 20-minute spot tomorrow that we'll put out reviewing the roster, the 23-man roster, and breaking it down and what it tells us about what Poach is actually planning going forward. We'll be able to tell a lot of that by how many left backs and right backs he picks in actuality. And where some of the players get listed, I guess that's not always helpful, but we'll be able to actually get a better feel. And we'll talk about and break down where we got it right and where we got it wrong. With the 23-man roster, we'll pop up our roster that we had before and compare and contrast with his 23 and see what we got right and what we got wrong. And yeah, really kind of looking forward to that. So we will be back soon. Thanks to all of you who showed up. Make sure you like, subscribe, share it with your grandma, and give your stepsister a big fat wet kiss. We'll be back on Thursday. Good night.
That hurt.
I want to play in Europe. What the hell does that mean, right? Because Europe could be Latvia, Luxembourg.
No one's talking about Latvia or Luxembourg, dumbass.
So you don't want to just shove it in there. Start with the smaller finger, especially if this is the first time. Start with the smaller finger and go slow.
I mean, there's a lot of things that need to change.
Honey, eating ass, it is the best thing that you can do for your man.
I want people to realize I'm just human. I'm just human, and I make mistakes.
So this guy, Derek, wants to know, is putting your tongue in an ass really the thing to do?
Yeah, it feels really good.
Yeah, just, it's a weird one, I think.
And I know you want me to toss your salad too, don't you? All right, on that note.
What they say?